Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Farm Manager Blogs. I am John as always, and oh heavens, is this a bit tight today. We are trying to sneak through what is all of a sudden a very busy little village here. Cold, something like on that side. We're doing okay, and there we go, we're through. We're heading back to the yard with some hay. We've got a full load behind us here. And we're just going to go and take this. We haven't quite got enough fodder really at the moment for our own cattle, and the first cut silage just is not quite there yet, so needs must. We're going after a little bit of we've got some hay, which, well, quality wise it might not be the best, but it's been a slow start to the grass growing this year, so we needed to pick up something. So this will kind of tie us over and see us through there for a while, I should hope. And then, yeah, we'll get Nigel to feed this in with the rest of their diet down at the cattle yard there. They are on a bit of a mixed ration really. They have a bit of hay, a little bit of silage that we have left over, some straw for like a bit of a a bit of just to fill them up, really, a bit of a stuffer, and then they'll also get in various different nutrients, and there's like a granule cake mix as well that we put in there from time to time. They get a bit of that every day, and that just kind of sees them through. They are outside on the little bits of grass we have around them, the cattle yard. I'm not sure if it's quite enough, but we're going to get that done, and then, well, then we're moving on over to back to the main yard. We've got the new tractors in the yard ready to go. Which is very exciting. We took delivery of it just this morning, and I have to say I wasn't 100% sold on the paint job we put on it to begin with, but having seen it twice or so now, oh boy do I like it. I really like it. So yeah, we're gonna have a look at that one. And we had, like I say, and like I've shown you actually in some of the recent videos, we have had a bit of an array of different, let me get around here, of different equipment on trial, and some of them have been very well received, and some of them were exactly what we thought they would be, which is not to say they were a bad tractor or anything, just maybe not what we were in the market for. So we'll, it's always nice to see what the competition are doing anyway, and get a feel of what's out there if we ever need to change up. So I feel like we've done that quite successfully. We're currently, I have got, the guys are out today drilling cover crops really, and just finish up the rest of that land. There's a little bit of cultivation work to be done. Sprayers on as well. It's a little bit windy right now. We're gonna go this way, I think. I want to, as soon as I get back to the yard, I'm going to try and sneak out with the, that's tight, with the sprayer. I want to get some pre-em down on the spring barley ground before the weather does turn again, but it's a little bit windy right now, a little bit too windy for what I would like to do, but we'll see how we get on. We'll give it the rest of, the wind is supposed to die down a little bit over the next few hours, so we'll keep ourselves busy for that. And yeah, fingers crossed we can get out there and actually get a little bit of something done later on today. But yeah, right now we're just going to take our time through this little private road, get the straw unloaded. The Scorpion is still down in the main yard, at the cattle yard there. Like that verge was a bit soft there, heavens. And just creep through here slowly, ever so slowly. So how have you been anyway? I hope everyone is fantastic, whatever you're getting up to. Do let me know down below what you're working on, how it's going, and yeah, how the farm's coming along really. Would love to know. Oh, let's just stop there. Thing is about this yard, when I'm coming in with a lorry, there's no real smooth way to get to the place. You've just got to go, and if it gets wet there, these junctions in are an absolute nightmare. But there are the cattle looking good. We're just going to take our way down there, get us unloaded, and then I'll feel much better about it all, to be honest. I might just, I've got my truck down there, I might leave that down there for now though, and just bring back the lorry. We do need to at some point go and get another load of fertilizer. We'll have to get some 2016-10 I think it might be, or 2010-16 beg your pardon. We need to go and pick some of that up, which is nitrogen, sulfur and phosphate, just to get everything growing really. Okay, so this is gonna be a little tight. Easy does it, John. Ooh. Well, we're going to try and get ourselves around about here, and we'll come back to you once we do. We might actually have to just go and do a weird little turn around onto the road there, I think, because we're not getting through that way in a month of Sundays. Oh, let's do that. So what we'll have to do, plan B really, I'm just going to stick some hazard lights on here. Let's just do this instead. Perfect. So we do have a little bit of land that unfortunately is still in a... there we go. It's still in a set-aside program, so we can't plow it over yet. Some of our land that we had in maize last year hasn't been touched yet, and we're not allowed to get into that one yet either, which... That was a plan that I inherited really. I'm not a fan of set aside programs at all. I'd much rather drill cover crops and get the ground working for me, even on a bit of a gap really in our crop rotation there. So if we've got 3-6 months, I'd rather stick a cover crop in there and get some nitrogen coming through, rather than effectively just having it sitting there set aside really, and that does the ground no good at all in my opinion. So we have about 100 acres of that right now left, which this is the last year, the last program, and then we'll be any ground that we have will be all stuck into a cover crop if it's not got that actively growing cereal crop in there. So that's something that that'll be interesting to see how it goes. Oh, this yard. Get around there, perfect stuff. It's always just a bit tight. Alrighty, excellent, and around we go again. Splendid stuff. Well, it's a bit of a squeeze, but we made it. What we're going to do, this hay is probably just going to get stacked straight into one of these sheds here, but I will just swing around this way, I think. Alright, and we'll stop about there. We'll get these unstrapped, knock that engine off, and we'll get into the Taurian, I think, and get the Scorpion even, and get this all unloaded. Okay, so as you can see, not a bad lot of hay there, really. It's not too bad. It wasn't the best made stuff ever, but you know, for the price that we got it, I'm happy with how it's looking for sure. So what we'll probably do here is, just for what we have right now, we'll just get it stuck all into that corner there for now, I think, and that should do it. So we'll jump into the ever faithful, ever present Scorpion. Perfect, and off we go. Yeah, I haven't once regretted making the switch over to this thing, that's for sure. It's been an absolute workhorse for us. Never a day goes by without using this guy. Okay, so what we might do is get this all unloaded. I think it'll take us a few minutes to do. We might even get a time lapse up and running for it to see how that all looks, and we will catch you on the other side of it, I suppose.
stop and think, why spend too much time just getting ready? Let me be honest, I don't know a single thing that I haven't done to make you notice me. Let me be real here. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around. It's a shame that my hands start shaking all of the time when you're around me. But this time, girl, I know what's bothering me. I need somebody to love. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Don't you see what's wrong with me? I need somebody to love. Oh, oh, nah, nah. I don't know what I could say to convince you to hang around when you don't have to. There's so much that I'm still keeping to myself, 'cause you don't listen, babe. But still you got me missing you. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around. It's a shame that my hands start shaking all of the time when you're around me. But this time, girl, I know what's bothering me. I need somebody to love. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Don't you see what's wrong with me? I need somebody to love. Oh, oh, nah, nah. God, I'm sick of this waiting. You got me going crazy tonight. So why don't you come on over and be my somebody to love? Somebody to love, somebody to love, somebody. I need somebody to love. I need somebody. I need somebody. Give me somebody, somebody to love.
Okay, folks. Well, the keen-eyed amongst you may have noticed that we had a little bit of an accident there with 3 bales, but hey, we've got more done. Oh, someone's curious about what's going on here. That's that load all in, looking good, and we're gonna head off in the truck and back up to the main yard, where we're gonna have a look. It's actually, even as we are fiddling on with those bales there, it's starting to actually get a little bit calmer now as well. So spraying might still be on, but before we even get there, we've got to first of all weave our way out of this tight little yard. Some of these old brick walls that make this place look so quaint and charming are a pain when you're trying to pull out in a 40-foot. An absolute pain. Dare I say, some of them might not be here too much longer. Because then we just have to swing right the way around and get some power up there. You lose all your speed when you try to get out the hill. But anyway, ooh, come on up you come. We're gonna head back up to the yard like I say, and then looking good. We're gonna have a look at the new toy, which is still in the yard. The quad track has yet to disappear. It has been sold. It just hasn't moved anywhere right now. So what we're waiting for is the green light to shift that really. And then yeah, we'll get that one away, and then it's done. Green, a great servant to us, but it's time just to kind of move that one on now, I think. And yeah, we've got a great deal for it, actually, nice price, which certainly makes the purchase of the new rig that a little bit easier there. Finance is never quite so hard when you've got a big make weight, but hey ho. Now what we do with this big 40-foot trailer here, we just sneak around that corner there and watch that skip, which has been annoyingly just dumped. We stick this in the old silage pit up the side here, and then it means I got plenty of room to get into it. plenty of room to turn this around. And we don't have to worry about it all too much here either. I never have to concentrate quite so much on the farm as I do when I am reversing this this trailer. That, and actually I tell a lie, the new header trailer for the Lexion header is beastly. That took a little bit of getting used to, let me tell you. Okay then. We'll leave that there for now, we'll come back to that. That's in, but yeah, we need to get that straightened up a little bit, John. Alright then, so the time is now to figure out what we've got in our shed. Anyone, if you have any last guesses, do let them be known now. The Lexion, like I mentioned, is all parked up in the dry out the way there, as is. Fortunately, this shed is just big enough to make it easy to get that in, let me tell you. But yeah, we'll get that shut there. So like I say, we tried 3 different machines. We figured out which one I like myself, which one my operators liked, and we stuck with the Fendt. But we opted to go for the Black Beauty, and well, like I say, I absolutely adore that. I think it's incredible. I don't know, I was unsure about when we first got it there, but then between the team and I, we decided to go for a Black Beauty just for a change up, really. Obviously we have 3 Fendts out here already. That one's predominantly mine, the 724 and the sprayer, which we're going to be taking out in a moment or two. But this is going to be replacing the quad track there. We're looking at about 426 horsepower, I do believe, give or take. But the main difference is it's a lot lighter than that quad track there. It's a lot more efficient. I can use this across a whole range of different work. If I really wanted to, I could cart grain with the thing. But it gives me a lot more use out of the tractor. That quad track's pretty darn good when you get it into the field, pulling either one of the cultivators or the drill. But to be honest, that's all you'll be using it for. After the rest of that, it gets parked up, and well, you don't see it out too often. I've had it on a grain chaser occasionally. We hired in a big one a few years back when it was wet, and stuck the quad track on it because for the low disturbance. But ultimately, yeah, it just seemed like the right move to make, and I'm very happy with it. Fendts have served us very well from a tractor standpoint for a few years now. With the beefiest Fendt, the oldest one, which is parked up in the shed over the corner there, that is, I think, 6-7 years old with us now. So, and I really can't complain about how that's cracking on. So it seemed like the best option for us. We get brilliant support from our dealership as well, and we shout out to Cars for that one. And yeah, we just thought that this was the right way to go. Familiarity is key as well. My operators know how the Fendts work. They like the Fendts, they enjoy driving them, and it is yeah, like I say, listen to it, it's a beautiful tractor here. It really, really is. Now it's going to be used primarily on the heavy drilling. If we have a large plow, if we need to pull that as well, this can do that. We might even stick this one onto the mowers if we feel the need to, onto our butterfly mowers for silage. It could also be put onto a buck rake again if we have to there with a few adjustments. But yeah, I like the fact that we have all those different options there. It's rapid on the road. I think this is 60k box in here as well. It'll absolutely fly. Just pairs along. When we had it on demo, we just couldn't find anything to make it struggle, really. So that might be a sign that we need to get some bigger equipment to pull. But yeah, I am delighted with it, really. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Let me know what you think of the paint job as well. We've never had a Black Beauty design on the farm, but boy, do I like it. I really, really do. So it's yeah, it's gonna be here to stay for a while. That girl over there, like I say, is going to disappear very shortly. I think they're going to come tonight for that with a low loader, or tomorrow morning. I'm waiting for a phone call back about that. I need to get another weight block for this one, something a little bit heavier on the front. But then ultimately, yeah, it's good to go. So what we are going to do, though, I'm just going to turn this guy off here. For those of you who have never seen it either, if we just spin the seat around, I do like the fact that I can swing it around and drive it in reverse there. Now, previously I've used this. We used to have a forager that we put in the back of the 3-point linkage. We did this with one of our old fence with a 930 Vario, and that worked really well. We've moved away from that, I think I'll say right now, and moved towards a different approach there, but it still means that this is very possible. Gives a whole nother realm of options for the use of the tractor. We'll spin it back around again though, and stick it all back to the way it should be. And yeah, it's just really nice. The team are happy with it as well. And I can't wait to get stuck into some work, so it'll be very interesting to see. On the road, by the way, this is rapid, absolutely rapid. It's such a nice tractor to drive on the road. Now, moving on to its younger, smaller sister. We are going to take the 724 out this morning, and we're going to get a little bit, or see this afternoon now. Going to get a little bit of pre-em herbicide put down some of our fields. So it's going to be me out in the trusty 724. What we do need to do before we get cracking with that though, just got to really top it up a little bit, make sure we're looking good. So what we'll do is I'm going to get into the chemical store here. We'll make sure that we get everything all sorted out here, and we'll come back to you in just a second. We'll have a look over the sprayer. Actually, you haven't seen this spray yet. I'll give you a bit of a... So the John Deere trailed sprayer, this is 36 meters wide. We used to have a 24 meter Amazon. I liked it. I didn't mind it at all there, but we decided to go for a trailed sprayer because we were looking at upgrading to a 36 meter sprayer, and it was just the self-propelled cost of a 36 meter are out of this world, and we just can't. We didn't see it worthwhile going for that right now, so we opted for the trailed sprayer. It's working pretty well for us. Output wise is about what we need, or where we need it to be. We don't feel like just yet that I have to, or I'm going to want to change that. But time will tell on that front. We have to wait and see how we get on, and if there's going to be a lot more output coming in, or a lot more land that we're going to be working on, which part of us hopes that we do get that. We are going to have to think about maybe going a little bit bigger. I know part of me thought about getting 2 of these, and it's still less expensive than a self-propelled, so that could be the way we have to go. But it works in with the Trimble GPS we have in the Fendt, and I really like it. It allows me to do a lot of vary rate application there. It allows me to have automatic turn off as well, so I don't overlap with my spraying, which is very highly efficient. It's wonderful to see. So yeah, there's a lot of good reasons to continue with it, and it's just a matter of us finding out what would be the next best option really in terms of size and scale. But hey, that's a conversation for another day down the line. We do a little bit of contract spraying. Right, last year we ended up doing stubble to stubble for about 300 acres, I think. So not really too much at all, not a lot to handle. Get through more than that in half a day really. We're going to come to this field here later on. We're going to head right down to the field that we're in with a class Terra Tractor Action actually first. We'll see how that one comes together, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. So lots to do. It's almost about to really ramp up. Another couple of weeks the grass will be good fit to mow for first cut, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Some might even be about to get a second hit of nitrogen, so that once we have mowed it, it's already starting to really surge back through with its growth. But we'll see what that's looking like probably in a couple of weeks there. Oh, bounce. But first of all, like I say, we're just going to start with the preems. All this does as well, just make sure that any weeds that come through are going to be like a broadleaf. And this just makes sure that when they do come through, they get zapped by the herbicide, and then they're killed off pretty quickly. It's kind of preventing any nutrients in the soil from being taken up by the growth of the weeds, which allows, oh my, that always, I forget how much that swings around, which allows for just a good strong crop of, in this case, barley. So what we're going to do is just have to kick ourselves out a bit here. Excellent. Pull forward. Always do like to shut that gate. Got a little bit of work to do on the GPS to make sure this is singing properly, but before we do that, Let's get that unloaded, unfolded there. Wonderful. And there it is. 36 meters of length in one pass. It's pretty impressive. When my father was starting to spray and getting classified himself as being a bit of a bigger farmer there, he had an 18-meter drill, which is just that much, just one side. 18-meter spray, I beg your pardon, and that was considered pretty big at the time. It seems crazy to think. But yeah, we're going to get on with this one anyway, and then we've got a few fields to do. We'll probably go a little bit later in the night, especially if the going is good, so we will see how that gets on. Wonderful. Lower that boom height just a touch. Perfect. And on we go. So we're gonna get cracking along with this. Like I said, it's nice and quiet and still right now. You can see that the spray is not blowing all over the place or drifting either, which is good. Get around. Ooh, we need to lift that up a touch. I don't like to ever spray when on the headland there. When you spray on the headland, you do get the far end of the sprayer boom really accelerates round. So where possible, I like to do it this way because it means you get a lot more controlled spray rate. GPS will kick in there as well, knows what we sprayed, and off we go. Excellent stuff, and we will kick on like this. I think for now I'm gonna leave it here. We've got a lot to do, so I better get cracking and stop chatting to you guys. But thank you ever so much for watching. I have been John, your farm manager. Do let me know in the comments down below what you think of the new tractor, the new Fendt there, and we will be sure to be having that out and about very shortly and seeing and getting it put to work really. For now though, thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have and you've yet to do so, don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one. Until then, have yourself a good day, enjoy what you're doing, and we'll see you all later.